Happy Halloween, everybody. It's Patsy, and I'm here to do a reading for Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and wherever your Scorpio placements are. Now, this reading today is in honor of our inner feminine child. And I thought that since it was Halloween, it would be a good day to work on that, right? Because we would be going trick-or-treating, some of us. Some of us would be eating our children's candies when it comes back or that type of thing. And it's a great day outside, at least it is here where I am. And I know a lot of you all are going to be enjoying your day. But anytime you come across this reading, it is meant for you to see it. Shout out to Marlo at Tarot Therapist. And I should have looked it up by now because I've already said it once and a couple of times and I need to get it right. But I'm going to do it right now. And I watched her. I've been watching her for a long time. And she did a series last month of October. And you might want to go and check it out. I'll put a link to it as soon as I'm finished doing these videos and editing. And you can check her out. And she did a series of... She's a therapist. She's a therapist, a licensed psychologist, social therapist. I don't know, but she'll explain it to you. But in any rate, she's a professional. Plus, she also reads tarot, and she did a reading for Pisces. And actually, all her readings last month. If you want to check them out. But Pisces really talked about getting in touch with healing our inner feminine child. So that is. It touched me, it resonated with me quite a bit, and I thought I would look into that. And yes, she is Tarot Therapy by the Woke Therapist, okay? And the video was for Pisces, but check it out because it was really profound and was longer than she expected it to be. And sometimes when Spirit is speaking to us, we just have to go no matter what our plans are. So, check that out. But as I watched it, I was very... It spoke to me. It resonated, right? And that's what the importance is. Even if it's not your sign, if the title draws you to it, there must be a reason that you need to watch it, right? With any tarot reading, right? And again... These are all general messages. These are all general energies. And it's for entertainment purposes only. Take what resonates and the rest leave it behind. But when I first started the channel, I was working not only with the tarot of the Orisha, but I was also working with the inner child tarot cards, right? Which is the fairy tale tarot. And I have referenced it a few times. Here's the guidebook, right? And that is by Isha Lerner and Mark Lerner, and illustrated by Christopher Guilfoyle, right? So the fairy tale tarot, and it assigns different fairy tales to correspond with different signs of the zodiac. So, for Scorpio, which we know in the regular tarot is the good old death card, right? That's why I did you and Capricorn so far, because it's Halloween, right? And these are the scarier cards. So that's death. But in the inner child tarot, death is Sleeping Beauty. So for some of us, we, Scorpio, have a fear of death and dying, but and if you have that fear, and Scorpio is your zodiac sign or your astrological sign, and every time you turn around, all you see is this death card, right? And other cards like it, like this number 13. 13 is also bad luck, right? Most hotels and buildings don't even have a 13th floor because it's supposed to be such bad luck. The ancestors, right? Death and rebirth, that's from the Light Seers Tarot. This is from the Hoodoo deck. And this is from the Casanova deck. Old man on his last, and it looks like death is standing there waiting to tempt him. Hopefully that doesn't get banned by YouTube. Matter of fact, let me just do this here. No, that wasn't it yet. Hold it. That's a surprise. And death. This talks about death, though. Talks about rebirth. Okay. Death talks about the end of one phase and the beginning of another. That's why this one says death and rebirth. All right. Excuse my fingers, you guys. Too. It's Halloween, so I figured I'd cover up my bad nails with gloves. All right. I get away with it. Death and rebirth, number 13. Right? So there's a shroud, right? Maybe some hurt, pain, blood may have been shed, but there's still the opportunity for things to grow inside of this experience. Number 13. In the hoodoo deck, the ancestors, death, right? So 13, 1 and 3 adds up to 4. 4 is your foundation. So this is about reincarnation for some people, previous lifetimes, things that may have gone on at someone's death or funeral that may have impacted you as a child. Some of you, I'm getting that. Maybe you saw somebody pass away. But at any rate, Sleeping Beauty, we know that story that the witches came to, well, the fairies and the witches were invited to Sleeping Beauty's christening party, and they all got an invitation and showed up, except the 13th witch, the black witch, the evil witch, and she came because she hadn't gotten her invitation and she was pissed off. So she put a curse on Sleeping Beauty that she would die on her 16th birthday, right? And luckily there was another witch behind her who was able to change it. She was a good witch, and so she was able to modify the spell, because you can't take the spell away, but you can do things to modify it, right? So pain happens, hurt happens, threats happen, but it doesn't have to be that bad if somebody knows what to do, right? Someone can find the cure, the medicine for it. So the second fairy, like the 14th fairy, I guess, she changed the spell so that instead of Sleeping Beauty dying, she and everybody in the palace would fall asleep for 100 years, but she would not be able to be awakened until she was kissed. And so 100 years passed, and Prince Charming, as usual, shows up, and he finds her in her chamber, and he kisses her on her forehead, and she awakens, and so does everybody else in the castle, and everything was like a suspended animation until that kiss happened. So there's some, maybe your inner child, Scorpio, felt separation. Maybe you didn't feel expressive love. Maybe you didn't feel that love was expressed to you or shown to you until later on in your life. Or never. Okay. All right. Also, somebody, I've been getting this message for a couple of days now, and someone may be messing with their mother's medicine. So check into that. All right. Check your medicine cabinets. If medicine is expired or you're not taking it anymore, throw that out. Or call this. I know there's a place that you can call and they can come and pick up those things, because they really don't want us putting too much medicines into the, the rivers and the sewer systems. But in any event, look into that. If your young child, your daughter, maybe, or even you, have been feeling, acting a little out of sorts, or any child actually has been acting out of sorts, maybe they're getting into some medicine, or taking some drugs that are not prescribed to them. That could be adults also. All right. So for some of you, somebody that's a message. Just check and make sure that your medication isn't expired, or that your children are not getting into your medicine. All right. So that's for somebody. Okay. So the healing for this Sleeping Beauty, which is number 13, as we said, which is foundational, right? I'm gonna do not be afraid of the quiet growth that is occurring within you. Okay? Enter the world of your dreams and pay attention to symbols and archetypes, but don't let it scare you. Don't let it frighten you. Right? Just take everything in emotionally. If you have to write things down, keep a journal of your dreams or of things that stick out to you, words, synchronicities, numbers, sequences, things like that, repetitive symbols that you see. Right? You could hear somebody's name one day and then hear that same name the next day, and the other person that you meet has that same name. Things like that. Keep a record of that, or don't react to it. Just write it down, right? Or keep it in your mind, or make a note of it in your cell phone. This talks about being open to receive information in your sleep, in your dreams. This talks about reuniting with family. This may talk about the time when you go from being a little girl to being a young lady, as we used to say, meaning that your menstrual cycle. Okay. For some of you, when you became a young lady, when you started your menstruation, it changed your relationship with your mother. Okay. It changed your relationship with your mother at some point, because maybe now she felt she had to watch you more closely. It may have changed your relationship with your father, where he felt he had to watch you more closely. It could have, even for some of you, it may have changed the way your parents, the way your mother let you play with your father, or let your father play with you. She may have gotten overprotective. All right? And maybe that caused a strain in the relationship between you and your father, because of, it could have been, for some of you, your mother could have had some jealousy. Okay? Your mother may have been having her own issues and displaying some jealousy when you started to become a young lady. Maybe she even accused you of improper things out of her own pain and her own need to heal and grow. And maybe you had to handle that because she was your mother, and she may have been throwing these accusations at you or making comments or remarks that may have been hurtful, but because you were a little girl, a child, a young lady, a teenager, you really couldn't say anything about it, and maybe you held it inside. And so maybe this is a time for you to heal that. She may or may not have been aware of how her words impacted you, or impacted the way you looked at men, and impacted the way you looked at relationships, or the way it may have impacted your relationship between you and your father, or your brothers, or uncles. This talks about becoming aware, that you get that awakening, that kiss of consciousness, when you're starting to understand your own spirituality, right? Starting to understand your own sexiness, right? Starting to understand why. Maybe you are that attractive that why wouldn't any woman be intimidated maybe by you? And maybe that's something that you need to accept about yourself. Take it as information, but also, because we're talking about light and dark sides of us here, right? Masculine and feminine, inner child. Maybe you took it, and that may have caused you to be overly flirty or overly sexualized. For some of us, you wanted to mute that sexiness, that attractiveness, whatever you picked up on that wasn't proper. Not that it wasn't proper, but that it intimidated other women around you or intimidated your mother or other females in your life. Maybe it's the time for you to acknowledge that and to let that go, right? To embrace your allure, to embrace the fact that you are attractive. Maybe something happened. Maybe when you were a young woman, a young girl, a young child, maybe there was some molestation or something like that. And so maybe you took that to protect yourself and to cover yourself and to remain conservative. You know, some people it affects in other ways. It may have affected you in this way. I'm just saying what Spirit is telling me to say. There may be some need for you to get some mental health advice, some therapy. And because this may bring up some really, really important and hurtful memories. This also talks about growth through sleep, that you have to get the proper sleep. During sleep, your soul loosens its grip on the physical body and roams the spiritual universe while still maintaining its tie to the body through the silver cord or thread of consciousness. Midnight, really? Come on. No, don't do this. Okay. Everybody wants to see you, but not in the middle of the reading like this, man. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to move. I'm going to try to talk through this because she's not going to move. And I want to get this finished. Come on. Let's go. All right. I love you too. Bye. Okay. So now, sorry about that, folks. I don't have enough editing skills to cut that out. So that was Midnight's. She wanted to be on camera, so there she was. Right, so perhaps, as I was saying, there may have been something like that. Something that made you feel that you had to pull back on who you were, on your own sensuality, if that's a word. Sensualness, I don't know if that's a word, but sensuality, yeah. But this talks about putting an end to these things, all right? Honest self-examination, honest conversations, allowing it to be what it is. You don't need anybody to own what they've done. All you need to know is that it affected you in this way. Something, someone, some energy, some experience may have affected you in that way. And it's time for you to transform that energy. Number 13, transformation. So I got a couple of cards from a couple of decks and with that number, just to see if there were any messages that we could get. Because we're playing with numbers. This is our inner child. Transformation. So again, being aware of something, some energy in you that needs to change. 13 in the Barbieri Zodiac Oracle is the sun. The sun is the center of the universe, right? Everything revolves around the sun. The sun is brightness and hotness, leadership. People are drawn to it even though they may get burned. So, this could again go along with that. The your ability to shine, your ability to be a light that other people may find attractive, may have affected your relationships with other girls, with mother, with sisters, girls in school, growing up. You may have had a natural radiance, okay, spirit, and it made other women around you feel uncomfortable, and either they may have said it to you, they may have bullied you, and maybe you never said anything about it, or maybe if you did, no one took it seriously. And so that part of you may have never been acknowledged or addressed sufficiently because it made you feel some type of way, as they say, right? Number 13 in the numerology deck is the effort. So, making the effort to change, making the effort to grow, to transform this energy, these experiences that you've had as a young lady, where you may have been sexually idolized. Like maybe you had a lot of folks that were attracted to you. All right, maybe you were in the limelight of some sort, maybe. Um, and I'm talking to to feminine energy. That could be within masculine also, right? So this are messages for the collective. If you're drawn to it, if it resonates, you could be a male child and have jealousy problems from an adult parent, male or female, or brother or sister or cousin or somebody that impacted you. There may have been signals that you picked up on. There may have been, as I said, for male and female, some kind of sexual abuse, or just that people would just look at you and make you a sex symbol, right? Make you what you weren't trying to be. Maybe they could not see you for your own beauty. They only saw your physique. They only saw your outer beauty, your eyes, your lips, or whatever, your butt, your legs, but they didn't know you, or they disregarded you, or nobody realized how that type of attention may have impacted you, Scorpio. hmm So that could be what this is about for your inner little girl. All right, that all those messages that you got, all the attention that you got, maybe, or some of you no attention, and it made you feel like, aren't I attractive? Aren't I beautiful? Well, certainly you are. But maybe that's what we're going to be healing. All right, that's what we need to heal in us in order for us to be able to move on in our relationships, in our careers, and in our lives. From the ancestor deck, the card that came for you was Medicine Mother. Okay? Honoring your inner knowing. So you know, okay? If people were trying to give you side, snide remarks and that kind of stuff, you knew what they were saying. You picked up on it, and maybe you didn't say anything. Maybe you didn't respond, or maybe you responded and no one acknowledged it, as I said earlier. But you knew then, and you know now. And if you don't know, you're going to know. Right? This is number 13. And this talks about taking action because you know what you need to do. Right? It says mother always knows best. And it's true. We all have, or we all know, a maternal figure that's extremely intuitive and insightful. And this medicine mother has gone through many ups and downs. She's lived and she's lost. She knows what it's like to suffer and want to give up. So the medicine of this card is that it's okay to make mistakes and get it wrong sometimes. And it's okay for things to come to an end. It's not the end of the world. It's just the end of one chapter and the beginning of something new. The medicine mother reminds you that even though you have low lows, you aren't here to suffer. You're here to be supported and to support others. Let her give you the loving encouragement to take the next step for it. There may be an old pattern rising up in you, and it's time to deal with it and release it for good. You're encouraged to love and respect yourself enough to take the steps you know you need to take to move closer to where you'd like to be. You already know the answers. You know what you need to do. You may have been using delaying tactics or holding back, but now you're being guided to take action. And action requires courage. But your angels and guides are bringing you the courage to move forward. Just take one step. And when you do, the next one will be presented to you. So one step forward, the next step will come. You just got to be willing to make the change that you know is necessary and coming. And that change could just be doing this type of work, identifying where you didn't feel supported. When it came to your health, okay, all right. There may have been some illnesses or something that you had, and maybe you had to go through a lot, hospitalizations and things like that. Maybe, you weren't in this position where your parents could stay at the hospital with you during your stay. That could be something, and maybe that impacted you in some way. For some of you, I'm feeling like you could have, some of us, I'm not saying us, I did not have the situation, but there are situations where you have a parent that is called Manuel's disease, Manuelson or something, where they make it like something is wrong with you, when really they're the one that has a problem. They want the doctors to prescribe you medications, and they insist on having you, examined and checked, and it was only for their own attention, for their own reasons. That's something that, and there's mothers that do that, and there's fathers that do that, and it's because they want attention from the other spouse or something like that. For some of you, you may have had that kind of experience, and so maybe you have an adversity to even interacting with other women, trusting other women, taking care of your own health. Maybe you only deal with herbal medications and things like that for that reason. For somebody, that could be it. You have a hesitation to trust doctors. For some of you. And that may be affecting your health today. And maybe you need to put in the effort to rectify that situation. Okay? This is about putting in the work to make a change. Doing meditations, resting, okay? Allowing yourself to heal, to regenerate. Being gentle with your inner feminine. No. Alright? Being gentle with your inner feminine so that she can get the love and the attention that she always was looking for. Your little girl. Giving it to yourself. Alright? Allowing yourself to love and be loved. And to heal. Alright, let's see what we can get from the wisdom of the oracle for Scorpio at 2934. Okay, let's see. Okay. 27, exchanging gifts. So, and here's that cat that was trying to get up there, get up here earlier, midnight. But exchanging gifts. So this is about you and your partner or someone around you, friend, family, exchanging your stories, exchanging your experiences, supporting one another. All right, as you unwrap all of this that's going on. All right, acknowledging your spiritual gifts and embracing another that could be in your atmosphere, in your circle of friends, or someone that you are destined to meet. More than likely someone that's around you right now, because you need to work on this right now. And for a lot of us, Spirit has already provided us that person, that partner, that friend, that parent, that sibling, that cousin, that aunt, whomever, that can help you with the work that you need to do through your gifts and acknowledging one another's gifts and sharing one another's gifts. So let's take a look at number 27 and see what we can get, any help for us. And again, these messages are timeless, so anytime you come across them, they are meant for you. This is about giving and receiving, trading, weighing costs and values. So you could be selling something or seeing what the value is of something, jewelry or property, or just experiences, right? Is it worth? What is it worth? What is it to you? And what are you giving in exchange for what you're receiving? For some people, it's not about money, it's energy, right? But if you are constantly giving and no one is giving back, then that makes you run at a deficit, right? So this is about reciprocation, even give and take. This talks about a productive period and a time when all kinds of opportunities are going to be offered to you, and you have all the tools you need to receive and to make the best of these opportunities. If you commit your heart and your soul and you bring all of your experience and skills with you, you can do it. You just have to get in line with the idea about giving and receiving, right? It's not just a time of doing. Use your time and your energy wisely, and be mindful of the value that others bring into your life, and not to drain them and not to allow them to drain you. All right? Equal give and take. Love is an exchange of life force energy between two beings. You must give and receive in order for love to flourish and abundance to flow between you. Spirit wants you to start accepting all the blessings that are waiting for you, as well as offer the same gift in return. Open your heart and allow it to be filled. Let love in and let it flow. Love is truly yours today. All of your hard work and all your efforts, all your commitment to learning and to creating and spending your time wisely will be paying off. It may show up in a way that you didn't anticipate, but they're arriving. Your own gifts, the gifts of yourself, your intentions, your time, your ideas, your energy, are being reciprocated by the universe. So if you're feeling at a deficit in energy, The universe is aware of that, and they are going to send you some healing energy from the universe to replenish you. They're sending you signs. They're sending you signals. And you are having opportunities. And if you haven't started it already, you will be. You'll be meeting people and understanding that everything is an exchange. Goodwill will come to you tenfold. Be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it. And then you may realize that it comes at a hefty price. And you don't want it. You may find yourself in a situation that you've always desired, but know you will have to walk away from, or maybe even fail at, because you can't, or you won't be able to pay the cost of what it's asking of you. If you want to be a famous musician, you have to play and practice every day. If you want to be a millionaire, you have to be responsible for managing the money and paying the taxes. Even a windfall has to pay taxes on it. It's okay. Because Spirit is going to help you achieve this balance over time. This is also saying that being the only giver and not the receiver, being only, another message here reminds you that being only the giver and not the receiver plays out in many relationships in your life where you have found yourself in a victim mode, in a codependent dynamic, or holding on to a false sense of control. And others may push you to continue to prove yourself. The time has come to distance yourself from this type of imbalance. Being aware of the need for both give and take is the first step towards true destiny. It's all good, and it will be getting better. Not only can you handle this, but you can flourish as a result. So, if you feel that you have been doing your part, you have been giving, and you have not been receiving, and you feel, for whatever reason, that you can't do it anymore, you are depleted, it's okay to leave it alone. It's okay to walk away from it, because when you let go, the universe is going to send you what it is that you need to heal you. They're not going to leave you, but you have to stop something in order for something to start, right? That's what death is, right? That is your card here, right? You have to let something go, right? You have to let sleeping dogs lie. Leave it, let it alone. The universe is going to work it out for you, transform it, change it, bring you something new, something else, someone else that will be supportive, another energy that will exchange fairly with you, if that is your situation, Scorpio. You will be put into a position where you will receive as well as give, and it'll be balanced and even, right? Where you're not going to be made to feel ashamed of who you are, of what it is that you bring to the table, whether it be your looks or your intelligence or anything, all right? People are always going to be suspicious, or they're always going to respond to you like that, right? You know that. You've always known that. But at this point now, you're going to be able to not allow it to trigger you, and you're going to have someone around you that is going to know how to compliment you without jabbing you at the same time. You know, that left-handed compliment nonsense. Yeah, some of you had mothers and sisters that would do that, left-handed, or even fathers and brothers that would give you those left-handed compliments. You know, that's another thing that some of you could have experienced, where is some snideness or some sarcasm, or they really didn't want to tell you, give you a compliment, so maybe they insulted you instead. You could have people around you like that, friends, you know, buddies. And it didn't mean that these people were doing it purposefully. Some of them, yes. But it could have meant that it just was something that you had to experience and learn how to transmute that and understand that that was not anything that had to do with you. It was probably more about that person and their inability to heal something within their inner child. Right? So we're working on healing our inner feminine child. And Scorpio, you need to get some mother healing. All right? And you may have to give it to yourself. All right? Maybe you need to, if your mother's around, and maybe you need to go get a hug. Right? Or have a talk. Or not. And if you don't have a mother figure around you, then maybe there will be a mother figure coming into your life that is going to be healing. And you already know it. So, be open to it. Understand that death is not an end, it is just a transformation of energy. Okay? One door closes so another door can open to give you a new experience. Alright? Regeneration, reincarnation is part of this cycle of life. So you may be getting a gift from God. You could be getting a gift from the heavens. Maybe someone has reincarnated for you, for some of you. And you know it, you feel it. You feel it. And you're right. So, death and rebirth. Put in the effort to accept these new experiences. You may have to deal with new feminine energies in your life. And maybe that's something, You pick up on jealousy from other women, or maybe you have a tendency to be jealous of situations in other women. Maybe you're reluctant to change. Also, that could be what you have to deal with. And that may be at the foundation of the problem is maybe you're resisting the changes. Maybe you resisted the changes when you were growing up. Maybe you resisted the physical changes that were happening to your body. For some of you. But make the effort to embrace those changes. Embrace what's happening around you. The changes that are coming to you, the messages that you're getting in your dreams. And allow yourself to be healed and changed. And to forgive. Oh, I gotta hide this card. To forgive, okay. And know that there's new things for you. A new day coming. New opportunities. Maybe the center of attention. That may be good, that may be bad, but you can handle it because the universe is going to send you support within yourself and from another or from a group of people. But you're going to be fine. Don't be fearful. All right? Let go of that hurt. Say it out loud to yourself. Write it down. Write about it. Sing about it. Cry it out. Acknowledge that it's there. It is always going to be there. But you know what? You don't have to allow it to continuously affect you. And let it change you and open you up. Open you up to a new experience. Medicine from nature, medicine from spirit, medicine from mother, and mothering yourself. So, 4425 when I said that. So, thank you very much, Scorpio. I hope that this made sense. And I hope that it will help you towards your healing. This is just the beginning of it, of course. But you don't have to get stuck in it. It's a continual cycle of growth and change and exploration, all right? The journey is never finished unless you're finished, right? So, again, that is the Inner Child Tarot by Isha Lerner and Mark Lerner. You know, check it out, and maybe you get more information. But it's going to be fine. And it's just an energy, and we're all going through it. So, thank you. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share these messages. And share them with anybody else that you know is a Scorpio. It might help her too, okay? Or him. So I'll be talking to y'all real soon. Namaste. Ashe. Peace.